Our top story today from the GatewayPundit.com. Please enjoy Democrat Representative Dan Goldman getting absolutely humiliated on CNN when he is forced to watch his previous comments on Joe Biden pardoning Hunter. We're talking about this story and so much more here on the Gateway Pundit's Week in Review. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and this is the Week in Review, where we cover the top 5 stories of the last 24 hours. Our top story today, Colin Linebarger reports that another Democrat representative was humiliated on CNN about his previous comments regarding Joe Biden pardoning Hunter. Check this out. It turns out that one will be hard-pressed to find a more debilitating and humiliating experience this year for a member of Congress than what happened to Representative Dan Goldman, a Democrat from New York, on CNN just today. As the Gateway Pundit's Kristen Taylor reported, Joe Biden last night granted his son Hunter Biden a blanket pardon in the federal gun and tax cases against him Sunday night after promising several times, including from his own lips and also from Karine Jean-Pierre, his spokesperson, that they would never do so. The pardon, which covers any federal crimes by Hunter from 2014 to 2024, ends a case that was blown open by the IRS whistleblowers who spoke out after the Biden Justice Department slow-walked an investigation into Hunter. Now, this allowed the statute of limitations to pass on some charges, and the DOJ then offered Hunter a sweetheart plea deal that was ultimately rejected by a dumbfounded federal judge in Delaware, resulting in the appointment of a special counsel by Attorney General Merrick Garland in the case. Now, the unprecedented pardon gives Hunter a get-out-of-jail-free card regarding any possible drug involvement, sex trafficking, lobbying, bribery, foreign agent, and or other crimes involving Ukraine and several other foreign governments or companies, including China. Now, moreover, the start date of the 2014 coincidences happened to coincide with the year that Hunter joined the board of Ukraine's energy firm Burisma in an influence peddling scheme involving Joe, a.k.a. the big guy. Now, CNN anchor Brianna Keilar brought on Goldman Monday afternoon to discuss old Joe's despicable abuse of power involving his son. But first, she had a little surprise for the New York Democrat. Keilar showed a clip of Goldman speaking out on Joe Biden potentially pardoning Hunter back in July of 2023, just days after Hunter's plea deal on 2 tax charges fell through. In the clip, ABC's John Carl asked the New York Democrat whether Joe pardoning Hunter would be a mistake. Now, Goldman responds in the affirmative and says that there is no chance that Biden would even do so. You're going to have to check out this clip. As you know, it's pretty remarkable that they can lie to this level of sophistication directly to the American people without any remorse. Check it out. Here he is. Watch.
In July of 2023, just after that plea deal fell through, this is what you said. I want to watch.
Do you think a pardon for his son would be a mistake?
Yes, and I don't think there's any chance that President Biden is going to do that, unlike his predecessor, who pardoned all of his friends and anyone who had any access to him. And I think you see that in this case, where he kept on, and Merrick Garland kept on, a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney to investigate the president's son. If there is not an indication of the independence of the Department of Justice beyond that, I don't know what we could look for.
What does that feel like, watching yourself back then, reassuring people that Biden was not going to issue a pardon for his son?
Yeah, and I think that if that plea agreement and that plea deal had gone through, there would be no pardon. That was a satisfactory outcome.
It had already fallen through.
That only was. Sorry?
When you reacted, this was when the deal had fallen through. And I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, oh, ouch. Now, it's kind of crazy with that level of hypocrisy that an individual can literally sit there and just have denied the reality of what's going on in a specific situation. And it's probably pretty humiliating to be confronted with your own words and then be like, oh, I didn't really mean that. Right? That wasn't exactly what I was talking about or what I was hoping to speak about. Now, that being said, it is kind of crazy. As you guys may know, we're also in a position where MyPillow is glad to announce that their Christmas extravaganza is finally here. You can get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, but they won't last long, so get them while you can. The famous My Slippers, they haven't reached on sale for over a year. Now, the regular price is $119.98, now only $59.98. And the 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list, from bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. Don't forget the classic collection pillows at wholesale pricing. For a standard pillow is only $14.88. So only $14.88 is a cheap price. I mean, it's wholesale. You get queen size for $18.88 or upgrade to a king or just $1 more. Body pillows for just $29.98 or multi-use pillows for $9.88. Go to MyPillow.com, MyPillow.com, or call 1-800-210-8491. And be sure to use promo code Elijah to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98 or 6-piece towel set at $29.98. Remember, there's a 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025, plus all orders over $75 ship absolutely free. Use my code on the screen or in the description to get your pillows at MyPillow.com today. Now, in other news, the Gateway Pundit reports that Trump dropped the hammer on Trudeau over the tariffs, saying that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S., maybe it should become the 51st state. Listen to this. President-elect Donald Trump met with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau at his Mar-a-Lago estate in West Palm Beach on Friday. The dinner, which was not previously announced on Trudeau's public itinerary, comes amidst Trump's decision to impose a 25% tariff on all products from Canada and Mexico in response to the illegal alien invasion. In a statement made on Truth Social, Trump declared that these tariffs would remain in effect until such a time as drugs, and particularly fentanyl, and all illegal aliens stop this invasion of our country. He emphasized that both neighboring nations have the power to address the issue, demanding immediate action to resolve the long-simmering problem. Now, on January 20th, as one of my many first executive orders, I will sign all necessary documents to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the United States and its ridiculous open borders. This tariff will remain in effect until such a time as drugs, in particular fentanyl, and all illegal aliens stop this invasion of our country, Trump said on Truth Social on Monday. Both Mexico and Canada have the absolute right and power to easily solve this long-simmering problem. We hereby demand that they use this power, and until such a time that they do, it is time for them to pay a very big price, Trump said on Truth Social on Monday evening. The announcement has sent shockwaves through Ottawa, with Trudeau's Liberal government scrambling to respond to what they view as an existential threat to Canada's already fragile economy. Just 2 hours after Trump posted the tariff threats, Trudeau called Trump at his Mar-a-Lago estate, and the two spoke about trade and security at the border. Not satisfied, desperate Trudeau boarded a plane to Florida for a face-to-face discussion. The meeting, described as productive by Trump, centered on America's demand for decisive action from its northern neighbor. I've just had a productive meeting with Prime Minister Trudeau of Canada. There we discussed many important topics that will require both countries to work together to address, like the fentanyl and drug crisis that has decimated so many lives as a result of illegal immigration, fair trade deals that do not jeopardize American workers, and the massive trade deficit that the U.S. has with Canada, Trump said on Truth Social on Saturday. I made it very clear that the United States will no longer sit idly by as our citizens become victims to the scourge of this drug epidemic, caused mainly by the drug cartels and fentanyl pouring in from China. Too much death and hardship. Prime Minister Trudeau has made a commitment to work with us to end this terrible devastation of U.S. families. We also spoke about many other important topics like energy, trade, and the Arctic. All are vital issues that I will be addressing on my first days back in office and before. The meeting took a lighter turn when, according to Fox News correspondent Peter Doocy, Trump humorously suggested that if Canada cannot sustain its economy without what he claimed was a $100 billion annual exploitation of the U.S., perhaps it should consider becoming the 51st state. This comment reportedly came after Trudeau expressed concern about the detrimental impact a new tariff would have on the Canadian economy. Now, Doocy reported on Fox News directly how hilarious that was. Check this out. You can watch it directly on their website, but we'll go ahead and skip it for now for the sake of time. Now, that being said, in other interesting news, it looks like The View, once again, Whoopi Goldberg goes crazy, defending Hunter's pardon and demands that co-hosts stop calling Biden a liar. Check this out, Ben Q reports. The View co-host Whoopi Goldberg won't hear a bad word against Joe Biden. And on Tuesday's edition of ABC's show, Goldberg got in a spat with fellow co-host and the show's token conservative Alyssa Farah Griffin when discussing Biden's decision to pardon his son Hunter on a variety of criminal charges. The pardon absolves Hunter of any and all federal crimes committed between 2014 and 2024, including those that he may still be charged with. The start date in the same year that Hunter joined the board of the Ukraine energy firm Burisma in an influence peddling scheme allegedly involving his father. The transcript is below, but we have a copy of the video. It's absolutely remarkable how they're saying, do not call him a liar. He's a good man. Hunter Biden is a good man. I'm so tired of hearing these people discuss literally anything.
Two things, because I respect it as a parent. I understand why he would do it.
Yeah.
But I wonder to understand why lie about it for so long.
I would stop calling it a lie.
Okay, why repeatedly say you're not going to and you do? And secondarily, for the part of this country, half of it that doesn't support Biden, doesn't know him personally, doesn't get to have phone calls, and they're just looking at a system that seems like it's only benefits the people who are in power.
I'm going to say,
what precedent does that set?
Well, here's what it sets. It's a precedent for all of us to open our eyes because we've elected someone who is in a similar situation, who didn't have a drug problem, who knew what he was doing, who clearly stood and said, I can do this. And he did it. So I think, for many, many reasons, this is very different than any other situation that we have ever dealt with.
You know, the shilling for the Democratic Party is pretty remarkable. Like, I don't really know of any other shows, even people that are Trump supporters, who really use their non-political platforms to advocate so intensely for a political party, right? I mean, if people find out that if you're a TikToker or you somehow are, you know, involved in some sort of extra political event like politics, you know, excluded, we're talking about football, sports, etc., and then you go out and you say, oh, you know, I support President Trump, you get hammered. But you have this talk show that's supposed to be about daily information in the news, and they can shill all they want for the Democratic Party, and they continually are absolved of any of their sins. It's absolutely remarkable. Now, additionally, another report just came out from the Gateway Pundit that Jill Biden's 2024 White House decorations are the worst yet, a circus freak show. You're going to want to get a load of this. Christina Lila reports, make it stop. Jill Biden unveiled her 2024 White House Christmas decorations on Monday, and it might be her worst work yet. This theme for this year's Christmas decorations is a season for peace and light. Jill Biden's tacky decorations mock Christianity. Jill Biden's Christmas decorations look like what would happen if a group of circus clowns projectile vomited all over the White House, which I guess is perfect metaphor to sum up the last 4 years. Greg Price said, we have a look at the full thing. Check this out. Here it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. Look, we don't need to be living in a country where they make the nation look like it's a circus, and we end up being around having, what, a clown show from the most clownified family in all of American politics. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you know as well as I do that these people are absolutely criminals. And that's why they're pardoning their own children on their way out. It's sickening. Now, guys, many of you know that you love free stuff, you love good deals, and you love your health. Well, let me tell you something. BiOptimizers is having a Black Friday deal. It starts now, and they're giving away free gifts with a purchase. That's right. I have an exclusive advance invite to BiOptimizers' special holiday deals. This is their best sale of the year, and if you're feeling stressed out or haven't been sleeping well lately, you're not alone. You might not be able to change all the chaos out there, but you can start supplementing with one key nutrient to improve your sleep quality, as well as over 600 other biochemical reactions in your body. Now, Magnesium Breakthrough, which I have right here, is the only product I've found that has all the magnesium forms in one convenient bottle. You open less bottles, spend less money, and still get the top 7 forms of magnesium for better sleep, managing stress, balance hormones, improve mood, and feel refreshed, all in one bottle. When you get all 7 critical forms of magnesium, pretty much every function in your body gets upgraded. And right now, for the entire month of November, BiOptimizers, the makers of Magnesium Breakthrough, are having a full blowout sale all month long. You can get the best deal only through my link on the screen at bioptimizers.com/gatewaypundit. That's bioptimizers.com/GATEWAYPUNDIT. Use code GatewayPundit to get your discount and free gifts today. One last thing, know that they have a 1-year money-back guarantee. So if you don't like the product, which I know you will love it, you can get your money back. So there's no risk. You should check it out today. Now, our last story is quite interesting, and it is one that I think is extremely important. It turns out that one person is calling out the DNC Finance Committee for needing to audit the Kamala Harris campaign, saying just like COVID, people took advantage of her campaign and made millions. Listen to the clip for yourself that was aired on News Nation. This should alarm you.
And no one answered any questions about why millions of dollars were spent on started concerts, celebrities. $2.5 million went to Oprah's production company. Oprah very well could have made an in-kind contribution and covered the production costs and her employee's salary herself, but she decided to take payment from the campaign instead. And also, we learned recently that $500,000 was given to Al Sharpton just shortly before he interviewed Kamala Harris. So there's a lot of conflict of interest here, and we need a careful accounting and probably more granular than the FEC report would offer. So somebody needs to carefully explain why they decided to, for example, spend $900,000 on the sphere. Because if we don't do that, how are voters and donors ever going to trust the Democratic Party again?
Do you think, on the flip side, a little over 100 days to mount a campaign was a near impossible task? Would there have been criticism if the Harris campaign did not leave everything on the table to spend every single dollar they have and then some? Isn't it common for campaigns to end in debt?
Well, when Obama ended in debt in 2012, it left the DNC in a terrible position because we had to climb out of debt. And that took a while. And that definitely, even Hillary Clinton cited the 2012 Obama debt as the reason why she lost, because initially her campaign was at a disadvantage. And also, there is no reason why consultants became overnight millionaires through the campaign. There's no justification for that. You know, these are everyday Americans, hardworking Americans, a lot of whom just gave $10 to $15. And that was all they could do. They poured their hearts into the campaign. They deserve answers as to why these people became millionaires, multimillionaires.
Right. We are owed an answer. Even to Americans that didn't vote for her, why did these people become so rich? I'd like to know. Anyway, my name's Elijah Schaffer. Thank you so much again for watching the Gateway Pundits Week in Review. If you'd like to join our mug club, remember you can pick one of these up on our website. They're embossed, they're weighted, they feel good. It supports the website, as of course we've had so many attacks, legal attacks, people coming after us, and your support keeps independent media and journalism alive. Have a great rest of the week as always, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.